Today's video is about a little internet archaeology about SCP-096, the Shy Guy. The original article started off in 2008 as a cryogenic air conditioner story. It was not the Shy Guy character. This is also the same year an image hosting company called Image Shack began hiding the information on how you could embed images you uploaded to their website to other websites. This began a long string of incidents that has caused a problem that we're dealing with, lost media. 2010, January, is the last live archive of that cryogenic air conditioner story, and I have a link right there on the screen. And then it disappeared. A month later, almost exactly, the page said, the page you want to access does not exist yet. Create page, and after that, it was gone. A little less than a month later, still in 2010, is the oldest wiki revision for SCP-096 that's not an appliance. This is when it was officially listed as being created by Dr. Dan. There aren't any revisions showing the original version that was a cryogenic air conditioner. And that's a little bit odd. Now, the thing is, the equivalent on Wikipedia is called a move request, or a full deletion, but they always show the process of it. Now, remember, this is a wiki. The people who run it can delete things if they want to. That's fine. It's a creative work. It's not being used for any kind of entries about anything real, I hope. But but it's still odd that it's not there. Anyway, and that was 2010, March 17th. Now, on the same day is the oldest wiki revision for a supporting article. And it was document-096-1. There's one like that called incident-096-1-A that came later. But anyway, I call it the Bathysphere document. It's about an underwater experiment. April 2nd, 2010 is the oldest live archive. That means archive.org has a copy of it, of the entire article at all, not as an appliance, but as the monster. And that's cool. Then we have the oldest live archive of the Bathysphere document showing up July 9th of 2010. October 18th of 2010 is the oldest wiki revision having incident 096-1-A. And the picture that we're talking about for this video that is now lost media, the original high-resolution one. It was at this hot link. And again, they were messing with hot links and everything. IMG 709.imageshack.us/img709 again /5761, and then it was spelled out clearly SCP-096 PNG, which means it would be a higher quality image by definition and probably larger and much more useful. And from it, someone could, in theory, find the original image wherever it was. And the only one who knows where that image came from, or if they had anything to do with it, would be Dr. Dan, who hasn't been asked where they got it from or how this happened. So I don't have any data on that. The oldest live archive of the incident report, which is the one that has the image in it, is from February 5th, 2011. Okay, now we're going to scoot down a little bit. In 2012, August 2nd, Revision History Files, that's the official files on the wiki, said that Dr. Dan said, I didn't have it saved. I had to rehost it. I used a poor quality pic, probably a thumbnail. This is the most reused image we now see for SCP-096. But it's not the current image. October 31st, or Halloween 2012, is the earliest archive with this low-quality Imgur pic, because that's where he rehosted it too, on Imgur. And it had an ID code that didn't say SCP anything. It was G9ZMJ.jpg on Imgur. A while later, literally a week later, Image Shack began blocking anonymous user uploads, which may have been how this ended up on there. 2013, sometime during it, someone claimed to be the original uploader but didn't identify themselves, and they said the pic was originally on Imgur, which is not accurate. However, it is on Imgur at that time. 2013, February 1st, is the oldest archive of the redirect lost media SCP image on Image Shack. There were many, many more, obviously. ImageShack.com/lost was the universal response they gave when anything was destroyed. And that's the oldest one you can find on the subject. And by the way, if you try to do a deep dive into the subject, they managed to crash archive.org. 2014, January 17th, Image Shack old free account pics still worked, supposedly, but old free accounts could not upload or hotlink anymore, so there would be no way to get to them unless you had access to the account, and if it was an anonymous upload, you wouldn't be able to. September 27th of that year, oldest live archives of Image Shack's 404 page, and many, many fail. For all of them, not just for this one, not for this special image we're trying to find. That's when all of them show up as being bad. 2015, March 3rd, SCP Wiki Revision History, someone like Communism is Awesome or whatever his name was, made the Imager file with that ID code the local copy by just cutting and pasting it with the same file name, and just got it over with, just in case of the destruction of the files. In 2015, throughout it, Image Shack replaced any deleted embedded pics with advertisements that would annoy people. And then 2016, they discontinued free accounts, and then in 2016, a month less than a few days after that, they went ahead and erased not only the free accounts, but the images associated with them. They destroyed an unknown amount of crap. Really good stuff. And that means we cannot get back this lost media. So we'd have to have Dr. Dan tell us where he got the image from if he can remember. 2019, a Reddit user named, I'm going to try this, Miliamo Jeff21 found a fake unredacted version of the image that we're going to see in a few minutes. And it is fake. It's somebody just edited the thumbnail. In 2020, we have Mountains Hiking, 2019, an image by George Hoden, and this was used to replace the old image because they couldn't find the original author, and they were trying to avoid any kind of copyright issues. And this came from a website called publicdomainpictures.net, so that pretty much is the reason. In 2025, September 1st, a Kumajoy, or whatever, confirmed that the Imager pic was reused as a local file from somewhere, just in case you're curious. In 2023, a Reddit user named Dutchanon geoguessed the location where the monster is and where the photo was taken as positions, and they're pretty close. A year after that, in July, just before August, Reddit user Happy Face Delusions relocated it and the 4 effing pixels image, and also found another image taken a little ways away. I'll refer to this one as the Reddit user image. And it gave extra details like the photographer's position, that the glacier in front of you is called Mielo, that the 4 effing pixels critter is at a certain location. I have here the foreground mountaineer's location, all that kind of stuff. And the name of the mountain range as Panchachuli. Now we're going to go ahead and look at these images, but here's the instructions if you want to read it on step by step, go to India, go to northern India, and how to get to the location. But we're going to be going through the images now. Okay? All right, here we go. This is the original 4 effing pixels redacted image. Now we're going to compare it to the one that's unredacted. First things first, the head's the wrong size. And I want you to pay attention to the yellow circle. Both of these are reasonably or unreasonably low resolution here. Oddly enough, the original one, this JPEG, looks cleaner for some reason. But the thing you'll notice if you look at it, stare at the yellow circle, and then I'm going to switch it back. You'll notice there's a kind of a halo that's circular, which indicates that this has been done by taking the inside of this image and then stretching it and smoothing it and smearing it so it covers it up, or just photoshopping it. Also, the head's just the wrong size. So this is the only copy of the image we have, and it's low resolution. Okay, now we're going to go to the next image. This is AI extremely upscaled. It's an abomination. The completely square box here that previously just had some noise in it now looks crisp, clean, and has edges that look like a rumpled book that's been in a clothes dryer. The circle is no longer a circle now. It's apparently an octagon or something. And yeah, this is a faked image. But because it cleans up a lot of this noise, including the color gradient problems, I'm going to use this. And I could use the original here, but I want to get rid of all that artifacting that goes along the top edge of the mountains. This gives an artificial fake, this is completely synthetic AI image, okay? Let's just get that out of the way. I mean, his hand's on backwards, okay? That's just, always with the fingers, really. So let's look at this image. This is the image provided by the Redditor. And I suspected, and I still suspect, that it may be faked. But it is different enough from the original that it doesn't look like a derivational, multi-generational thing. It has almost every characteristic almost too perfect. Some is a bit suspicious. And again, the Redditor did not provide any link to where they got this image from. It's obviously been cropped from someone else's picture. There's at least, because of the angle of the arms, there's probably 3 people in this image to the right side. Okay? Maybe there's 4 of them and they all represent a peak. I don't know. But anyway, that confirms that someone has the right location, right? Well, I want a 4th, 3rd, 5th copy. This image is one that I found on the net from someone I'm giving credit to. This is from 2017, August. Location number 3 is the name of the location it was taken from, and it talks of an older lateral moraine, this ridge in here in the middle here, that can be clearly seen as a sharp ridgeline separated from the valley wall to our left by a depression, which is this banged in area here. It looks like a highway we go through. And this is under a group of photos called Field Photos of Glacier Deposits of Darma. And this is a picture authored by sedimentary geologist Servat Kher. And we see our mountain number 2 on the right, 3 is next to it, then 4, and then on the far left is Panchachuli 5, and I'm probably mispronouncing it. We are viewing from the west of Panchachuli mountain range, from their east, and we're looking west. And we're between 0 point and base camp, which are 2 locations in this Darma Valley. And Darma Valley is in Pithoragarh, Kumaon, Uttarakhand, India. And yes, I butchered that, and I'm sorry. Now we're going to look at this image. This is the Google Earth version of it. Now, a lot of these images, if you can't tell on the far left, I had to rotate that image about 3 to 4 degrees in order to make it match up with any of this. And this image here is actually yet another rotation, because the original image was taken with a slight tilt to it compared to every other image. This one doesn't look rotated at all because the person sat there and rotated it in Photoshop. It doesn't show any evidence of it, but it's there. And this is an image from Google Earth, and it matches very closely to this one. And instead of using this one from the Redditor that doesn't have any way of tracking it down, I'm recommending you use this one, and I'm going to show you the full version of it in a minute. And that's it for the video. The location appears to be accurate because I'm able to go there and get this image done, and it's very close. In fact, if I go from here back to the original, we do see many, if not all of them similar or identical. We see enough similarities. There's one prominent little bump over here on the right side where that straight line goes up real quick and then comes back down. And that corresponds to a lump stone here that doesn't do that when you look at it in Google Earth. And for what it's worth, this is the original image by that sedimentary geologist at hopefully full resolution for you. So credit where credit's due, that individual got a perfect, almost perfect image for us to confirm it, and I can track it back because that's kind of important if I'm going to do this and actually try to do it correctly. So, if anybody's curious, it was made sometime before 2010, sometime, and this image had a high-resolution version of it with an actual person in the foreground, most likely. It doesn't look like it would be faked. And the original copy of it is only known as far as its origin story to a contributor on the SCP wiki who went under the name Dr. Dan, and I've never seen any commentary as to where he got the image from. And I'd love to know. And the keywords, if you're curious, are all of the words up here in the upper edge. If you look up all of those, you might eventually find it. Now that this has been exposed as being where it came from, you can find the images more rapidly. You'd have to find an image from 2010 or earlier. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. And bye.